morning and welcome to the first episode of the Wild Spirits News in video form. Today is about the little things and the big things, and according to that quote by Kurt Vonnegut, which you might know, which goes, enjoy the little things in life, because one day you're going to look back and realize that the little things were really the big things. That reminds me of a coaching client that I talked to the other week who said when she looks back, she used to think when her son was growing up, she used to think that her proudest moments were when he was doing really well in school. He's a whiz kid, or was. He's now 27 or 8 or so. But when he was growing up, he was doing really well in school. Then in university, he finished his degree with distinction. And she said to me, I thought these were the proudest and happiest moments of my life. But then she said, you know, Sibylle, when I look back now, what I find is what I remember with the most fondness and the most happiness is our breakfasts in the morning when he was still in school, when he was still at home with me, sitting in the kitchen and just chatting, just these normal mornings. And I remember the sun coming in through the window and flooding the room in a golden light, and the sheer happiness of having the family together just for a moment, for 10 or 15 minutes in the morning for breakfast, because before we all went off to work and school or university and these different ways. So that's a great example, I believe, of the little things being the big things. And today I'm talking about how you can have more of those little things and how you can make them count and how you can make sure not to miss them so you don't just remember them 20 years later, but enjoy them now, in the here and now, in the today. Well, the thing is that really philosophers say this day, this moment even, is the only life that we really have. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm all for setting goals, for planning ahead, for taking steps and visualizing the future. All this is important. It's also important to acknowledge your past, to make peace with it, to learn from it, but also to move on from it. But the majority of your time and effort, and emotional effort especially, should be spent in the present. Because, again, that is the only real life that you have. It's the only moment where you can actually make a difference, and it will make difference for the future, hence the goal setting, what you do in the moment. But you can only do it in the moment. You cannot do anything in the past. You cannot do anything in the future, and neither can you feel in the past or in the future, or exist in the past or in the future. You only exist right now. We are sometimes guilty of concentrating our thoughts too much on the past or on the future, excessively so, and so we forget to enjoy those moments in the present time. So I have a really effective technique for returning to the moment and remembering the moment. The thing is that our minds and our emotions can be stuck in the past or be cast ahead into the future, but our bodies can't. Our bodies are right here in the present, and you can use this to your advantage. You can use this fact to anchor yourself in the moment, or to bring yourself back into the moment, which again is the only time that you have to make any difference. So I recommend that a couple of times a day you check in with your body. The way you do this is by becoming still for a moment, stopping to do what you do. If you're at work, in the office, just look away from the screen for just one moment. Take a deep breath all the way into your lower stomach, and then ask yourself, how do I physically feel at this moment? Check through your body. Start with the head, shoulders, the chest, the belly, your back, your arms and hands, your legs and your feet. Ask yourself, are you feeling comfortable? Are you feeling warm, cool, like I said, comfortable, or is it maybe uncomfortably cool or hot? Do you feel any tension anywhere? If you feel tension or pain, try and breathe into that spot. Take a deep breath and focus on that spot. Send your breath, your breath energy to that particular spot. If you feel uncomfortable or a little too hot or a little too cold, do something about it. Put on a cardigan or your jacket, or take off your cardigan if you're wearing one, or open a window if it's too warm. And try and make yourself comfortable. And then for just one moment, all this only needs to take 10-15 seconds. It's just a quick check-in, especially if you do it more often, you get very proficient at it. And then at the end of these 10-15 seconds, you take another deep breath. And then, as you've made yourself comfortable or more comfortable, feel the gratitude for your body, for your presence, and for the present moment. And then you can look around and think of what else you're grateful for at the moment. Is it your life? Is it the fact that you woke up this morning? Is it your family? Is it your job? Is it the fact that the sun is shining, or that it stopped raining, or that it is raining indeed, because nature does need rain and water? Just find one or two small things. It doesn't even have to be, again, the small things are really the big things, remember? It doesn't have to be anything major. Just find something to feel grateful for. Feel that gratitude. Feel it deep in your heart. Then take a third deep breath and go back to whatever you were doing before. Now, it can be a bit of a challenge to be reminded of this, to remember it, especially when you get busy. So what I suggest, most of us have phones, most of us even have smartphones these days. So if you have a phone that has an alarm function, a clock, you can set alarms there. I set one in the morning at around 10 and one in the evening at around 6 o'clock. But it can vary, whatever you want to do. It can be 10 in the evening or 8 in the morning or whatever. I suggest at least twice a day. You can do 3 times. And as you do this regularly, you will develop a habit. You will notice that things are changing. You develop the habit of dwelling in this moment, the habit of appreciating it more, even when the alarm isn't ringing and you're not doing your little breathing exercise. And you will start noticing the small things. That's another saying that you've probably heard, to stop and smell the flowers. Remember to do that. I actually literally do that. I've been known to do that. When I walk down the street and there's a hedge reaching out a little bit over the pavement, then I'll actually stop and stick my nose into any flowering blossoms in there and smell them. I love doing that. It's and it's beautiful. It's sensual. You get this sensual impression of the lovely scent, and you get an appreciation of nature, and it's really calming and beautiful. If you're at home, stop for a moment, place your hand on your heart, and feel your heartbeat. Isn't it incredible that this heart of yours beats every moment of every day? This is not to become philosophical. I mean this literally. Be aware of all these little things. Be aware of every breath you take. It's a miracle. Life is a miracle. It actually is. Become aware of that. Become aware of the people around you, the music you listen to, the books you read, and obviously the passions in your life, everything that lights you up that you do. As you make room for it, as you paint, as you write, as you read up on your favorite area of interest, as you go about your work that is aligned with your purpose, be grateful that you have that in your life and that you are able to pursue it. So take your time, check in with yourself twice a day or more if you want to, and see what it does to you over the next week or two. If you would like a written abstract of what was said in this video, as well as lots of background and insider information, recommendations of books and other resources, and regular exclusive offers exclusive to subscribers, go to wildspiritscoaching.com and fill in the little form, which will get you a weekly email with coaching magic directly to your inbox. Your data is completely safe with me, so go to wildspiritscoaching.com and subscribe. You can also Google Wild Spirits Coaching, which will also get you to my website. Thanks for watching.